Episode 1, The Unicorn's First Friend. On a bright, sunny morning, a young unicorn named Luna trotted up the rolling green hills near her forest home. Her silky coat shimmered in the light, and her silver horns sparkled with a hint of magic. Today felt different. Luna could sense a special energy in the air, as though something exciting was waiting for her just over the next hill. As she climbed to the top of the hill, Luna spotted something small and red flitting about in the sky. Squinting her eyes, she saw it was a little red bird chirping a cheerful tune. Its feathers gleamed in the morning sun as it swooped and swirled in the air, carefree and full of joy. Luna's heart leaped with excitement. She had always wanted a friend to explore with, and this little bird seemed perfect. "Hello, little bird," Luna called, her voice soft but eager. "My name is Luna. Would you like to be friends?" The red bird stopped mid-flight and looked at Luna, tilting its head curiously. Then with a happy chirp, it flew down and circled around her. "Nice to meet you, Luna. I'm Ruby," chirped the little bird, landing gently on a branch beside Luna. Luna giggled as Ruby danced in the air beside her, chirping and twirling. Together they laughed and twirled in the warm morning sunlight, their joy echoing through the quiet hills. As Luna and her new friend played, she noticed a tall, ancient tree nearby. Its thick, twisted branches seemed to reach up toward the sky, and at its roots was something unusual. A large book bound in leather and decorated with a glowing crescent moon symbol lay nestled among the roots. "What's this?" Luna whispered, her eyes wide with curiosity. Ruby chirped as if encouraging her to take a closer look. With gentle hooves, Luna opened the book. Inside, there was a story about a mystical place called the Moon Lake, a hidden lake where unicorns gathered under the moonlight. It was said that the lake held magical powers, and that any creature who reached it would feel a deep, peaceful energy. The book described the lake as lying somewhere beyond the hills, guarded by friendly creatures who loved music, laughter, and dance. "This sounds amazing," Luna said, her heart racing with excitement. She looked at Ruby. "Shall we try to find the Moon Lake together?" Ruby chirped in agreement, her eyes gleaming with excitement, and they set off through the forest. Luna trotted with light steps, her eyes wide as she took in the beauty of the world around her. She had always loved exploring, but with Ruby by her side, everything felt even more magical. As they traveled, they passed fields filled with bright red apples hanging from the trees. Luna and Ruby stopped to munch on a few juicy apples, savoring their crisp sweetness. The forest was quiet except for the gentle rustle of leaves and the distant songs of other birds. After their snack, they came upon a bubbling brook. Luna bent down to drink the cool, clear water, while Ruby fluttered about, dipping her beak into the stream. In the distance, they saw fish leaping gracefully from the water, their scales shining in the sunlight. Luna and Ruby watched, fascinated by the dance of the fish. Continuing their journey, they arrived at a small clearing where a large, sturdy chair sat beneath a tall tree. Curious, Luna climbed onto the chair, and Ruby perched on her horn. From this high spot, they could see far into the distance, a view of hills, forests, and streams, all glowing under the bright sky. As evening approached, the sky began to change colors, painted in pinks and purples as the sun dipped lower. Luna and Ruby reached a clearing that looked just like the picture in the book, a peaceful spot surrounded by tall trees with a clear view of the sky. When night finally fell, a bright moon rose high above them, casting a silvery glow over the clearing. Luna felt her heart beat faster as she noticed her horn beginning to glow softly, reflecting the moon's light. The feeling was magical, as if the moon itself was sharing a piece of its gentle energy with her. In that moment, Luna felt a deep peace wash over her, filling her with warmth and happiness. She looked at Ruby, who chirped softly, sharing the quiet beauty of the moment. Luna knew she had found something truly special here, a place that felt like it was made just for them. As she gazed up at the moon, Luna whispered, "Thank you, Moon Lake, for this wonderful magic." She knew that with her new friend Ruby by her side, she was ready for many more adventures. The world was full of wonders, and together they would explore them all. And so began Luna and Ruby's journey, with their hearts filled with excitement for the magical discoveries that lay ahead. Episode 2, The Stone of Courage and the Ancient Tale. In the bright sunlight, Luna and Ruby were making their way toward a vast mountain range known as the Mountains of Courage. It was said that hidden within these peaks was a special rainbow stone, the Stone of Courage, that could grant anyone who found it the strength to face any fear. The mountains looked majestic against the clear blue sky, but there was an air of mystery that made Luna's heart beat a little faster. "Do you think this will be dangerous?" Ruby asked softly as she perched on Luna's shoulder. Luna glanced at her little friend and smiled. "It might be," she replied, "but with courage, I think we can handle anything." As they traveled along the mountain path, they passed through thick woods, with tall trees casting shadows that danced in the gentle breeze. The further they climbed, the quieter it became, and soon all they could hear was the sound of their own footsteps echoing in the stillness. Finally, they reached a clearing where an old wise-looking bear was resting. His fur was gray, and his eyes held a wisdom that only comes with age. Sensing the presence of visitors, the bear looked up, his gaze meeting Luna's with a warm but guarded expression. "Hello," Luna greeted him kindly. "We're here to find the Stone of Courage." The bear chuckled, a deep rumbling sound. "Many come here looking for that stone," he said, his voice steady and calm. "But not all are worthy of its power. To earn it, you must face your deepest fears." Luna felt a shiver run down her spine. She had always thought of herself as brave, but now she wondered what hidden fears she might have to confront. "What do we have to do?" she asked, determined but slightly nervous. The bear nodded toward a dark cave nearby. "In that cave lies the test of courage. It will show you your greatest fears, but remember, the stone will only reveal itself if you face them honestly." Taking a deep breath, Luna looked at Ruby, who chirped encouragingly. "Let's do this," Luna whispered, stepping toward the cave entrance. Inside the cave, shadows danced across the walls, forming strange shapes that seemed to shift and grow. Suddenly, Luna saw a vision of herself, alone and surrounded by darkness. She felt a wave of loneliness and uncertainty wash over her. "What if I'm not strong enough?" Luna murmured, voicing a fear she hadn't even realized was there. Ruby gently nudged her cheek, reminding her that she wasn't truly alone. "You have courage within you, Luna," Ruby said. "Remember why we're here and the strength you've already shown." As Luna took a steadying breath, the darkness began to fade, and a soft glow appeared at the end of the cave. She walked toward it, feeling her courage grow with each step. At the end of the path, she found a shimmering stone, radiating a warm, golden light, the Stone of Courage. "You did it!" Ruby cheered. Luna smiled, feeling the stone's power flow into her. She understood now that courage wasn't about never being afraid. It was about facing fear and moving forward despite it. As they returned to the clearing, the old bear was waiting for them. He gave a nod of approval. "You have proven yourself," he said. "May the courage within you guide you in all your journeys." Luna thanked the bear and set off down the mountain with Ruby by her side, her heart brimming with newfound strength. She had not only gained the Stone of Courage, but also a deeper understanding of her own bravery. Episode 3, The Stone of Wisdom and the Star Map. Luna and Ruby entered the Forest of Wisdom, a place unlike anywhere they had been before. The air was cool and sunlight streamed down in gentle beams through the dense canopy, creating patches of light that danced across the forest floor. The trees stood tall and ancient, their bark thick with moss and their branches tangled with vines, making the entire forest feel timeless. "Do you think we'll really find the Stone of Wisdom here?" Ruby asked, her tiny wings fluttering with excitement. Luna nodded thoughtfully. "If we're meant to, we will, but I think wisdom might be more than just finding a stone." As they ventured deeper into the forest, they began to feel the weight of the silence. There were no sounds of birds or rustling leaves, only the faint, almost whispering hum of something mysterious within the woods. Suddenly, a soft rustling broke the silence, and from the shadows emerged an elderly fox with silver fur and sharp, intelligent eyes. His movements were graceful, each step as precise and careful as if he had trod this forest for countless years. "Greetings, young travelers," he said in a voice that was gentle yet commanding. "I am Silver, the guardian of wisdom. I know you seek the Stone of Wisdom, but such a gift cannot be taken. It must be earned." Luna's heart raced as she looked at the fox with awe. "I'm ready for any challenge. Please tell me what I must do." Silver's mouth curved into a knowing smile. To prove yourself, you must answer this riddle, he said. And if you succeed, I will also share a secret of this forest. A star map left by the ancient unicorns themselves. Luna's ears perked up. A star map from ancient unicorns? The thought filled her with curiosity and wonder, as if she were on the brink of discovering something deeply tied to her own existence. Silver began his riddle. I have rivers but no water. I have forests but no trees. I have cities but no people. What am I? Luna's brow furrowed as she thought over the riddle. Rivers but no water? Forests but no trees, she repeated softly. Her mind began to race, searching for an answer hidden within the words. Meanwhile, doubt started to creep into her thoughts. What if she didn't know the answer? She had the stone of courage now, but did she truly have the wisdom needed to solve this? She glanced at Ruby, who looked up at her with wide, trusting eyes and took a steadying breath. She reminded herself of Wise Bear's advice. Sometimes wisdom isn't about knowing the answer right away. It's about understanding the question. Then something clicked. Luna's eyes brightened as the answer came to her. A map, she said confidently. The answer is a map. Silver's eyes gleamed with approval, his face breaking into a smile. Very well done, Luna. You have shown the understanding needed to possess the Stone of Wisdom. With a flick of his tail, Silver led them to a small clearing where the ground shimmered as if a hidden light lay beneath it. There, nestled within a patch of soft moss, lay a radiant stone that pulsed with a silvery glow, the Stone of Wisdom. Luna reached out and touched the stone, feeling a rush of warmth flow through her. The world seemed sharper, clearer, as if her mind had suddenly opened to new ideas and perspectives. But as Luna marveled at the stone's clarity, doubts began to creep back into her thoughts. She wondered if relying on the Stone of Wisdom to guide her thinking meant she lacked true wisdom. Did this stone give her real insight, or was it just making her feel wise? As they walked through the forest, Luna found herself trying to rely on the stone for every little decision. When they reached a fork in the path, she paused, unsure of which direction to take. Normally, she would trust her instincts, but this time, she found herself waiting, hoping the Stone of Wisdom would guide her. Luna? Ruby asked gently, noticing her hesitation. I thought the stone would help me figure it out, Luna admitted, feeling a pang of self-doubt. But maybe I'm not really wise. Maybe I'm just pretending to be. Seeing her friend struggle, Ruby fluttered onto her back and gave her a reassuring pat. You're wise because you care and because you're willing to learn. The stone is only a tool to help, not the answer to everything. Luna took a deep breath, Ruby's words settling in her heart. She realized then that wisdom wasn't just something you could hold or take. It was something you cultivated within yourself through experience and thought. Feeling a renewed sense of determination, Luna chose the path her instincts had been nudging her toward. Eventually, Silver guided them to another part of the forest where the earth itself seemed to glow faintly. Luna and Ruby found themselves standing before an ancient star map, etched into the ground with shimmering constellations. The map showed a river of stars flowing through the heavens, a cosmic path known as the Star River. Among the constellations were faintly etched symbols, images of unicorns that seemed to be woven from the stars themselves. This map was created by the first unicorns, Silver explained. They believed their kind were born from the stars, blessed by the light of the Star River. Luna gazed at the map, feeling an inexplicable pull. Could I be connected to this ancient lineage? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Silver gave her a thoughtful look. That, Luna, is a question only you can answer. True wisdom lies not only in understanding the world around you, but in understanding yourself. As they left the forest of wisdom, Luna felt both enlightened and filled with even more questions. She now held the Stone of Wisdom, but she also knew that her journey was far from over. With Ruby by her side, she would continue seeking the answers she needed, not only to fulfill her quest, but to discover her true place in the magical world. Episode 4, The Stone of Kindness and the Moonlit Visions. Luna and Ruby journeyed further, their path leading them to a beautiful river that sparkled under the soft glow of the evening light. This was the River of Empathy, a magical place known to reveal one's true kindness and compassion. The legend spoke of a special stone hidden somewhere near the riverbanks, the Stone of Kindness. As they arrived, they noticed the water was remarkably clear, reflecting the soft pinks and purples of the evening sky. The air was filled with the gentle hum of the forest, and a sense of peace washed over them. "This place feels so calming," Ruby said, fluttering close to Luna's side. Luna nodded, feeling the tranquility settle within her. "It's almost like the river is alive," she murmured. "Do you think the Stone of Kindness is hidden here?" Just as she finished speaking, they heard faint sounds coming from deeper within the forest near the riverbank. Curious, they followed the noise until they came upon a small family of forest animals. A mother deer with two tiny fawns and a small group of baby rabbits, all huddled together, looking distressed. "What's wrong?" Luna asked, approaching them gently. The mother deer looked up with soft, pleading eyes. "Our home on the other side of the river was destroyed in a recent storm," she said. "We were trying to cross to the other side, but the current is too strong for the little ones." Luna's heart went out to them. She glanced at Ruby, who gave an encouraging nod. "We'll help you cross," Luna assured the deer, determination filling her voice. "No one should feel alone or stranded." With Ruby guiding from above, Luna gently led the deer and baby animals one by one across the shallowest part of the river. The water was cool but calm around Luna, almost as if the river itself was aiding her in this act of kindness. Once they had all safely reached the other side, the mother deer looked at Luna with grateful eyes. "Thank you, Luna. Your kindness will be remembered by all of us." Luna smiled, but as she was about to respond, she heard a faint whispering sound coming from the river itself. Suddenly, the water grew restless, churning and shifting as if disturbed by an unseen force. Luna took a cautious step back, feeling a twinge of uncertainty. The water began to shimmer with a strange glow, and a deep voice echoed from its depths, as though the river itself was speaking. "Kindness is not always easy, young one. It sometimes asks for sacrifice." Before Luna could fully grasp the meaning of these words, she felt a powerful pull coming from the river. She stumbled slightly, her hooves sinking into the soft ground as a figure began to emerge from the water. It was a translucent shape, a mirror image of herself, but with eyes that seemed filled with sadness. The figure spoke in a soft, haunting tone. "What if one day you must choose between your journey and the needs of others? Will you have the courage to sacrifice something precious to you?" Luna was taken aback, the question weighing heavily on her heart. She thought of the animals she had helped, of Ruby, and of the quest that drove her forward. Would she be able to give up her journey, her dreams, if it meant helping others? Seeing Luna's hesitation, Ruby gently chirped, "Luna, you've shown kindness today. Don't let this vision fill you with doubt. Remember why we're here." As Luna steadied herself, the vision faded, leaving behind only gentle ripples in the water. The strange glow faded, and in its place a small, luminous stone appeared on the riverbank, the Stone of Kindness. Luna approached the stone, her heart still feeling the weight of the vision. She reached out and touched it, and as she did, a warm, gentle glow surrounded her. She felt a deeper understanding and empathy filling her heart, making her realize that true kindness was not only about helping others, but also being willing to make difficult choices. But as she held the stone, she suddenly saw another vision in the river's surface. In the moonlit reflection, she glimpsed an image of herself standing under a starry sky, surrounded by ancient unicorns from long ago. They seemed to be watching her with pride, as if acknowledging her act of kindness and the connection she shared with them. "Did you see that?" Luna whispered to Ruby, who looked at the reflection in awe. Ruby nodded. "It was like they were guiding you, Luna. Those unicorns, they must be connected to your journey." Luna took a steadying breath, her heart filled with both wonder and determination. The Stone of Kindness had brought her closer not only to her goal, but also to understanding her origins. She knew now that her journey was not only about gathering magical stones, but about growing into the unicorn she was meant to be. With a grateful heart and the Stone of Kindness now in her care, Luna and Ruby continued on, their spirits lifted by the vision and the kindness they had shared. They knew that every step of the way, Luna was becoming more of the unicorn she was destined to be, one filled with courage, wisdom, and boundless kindness. Episode 5. The Stone of Empathy and the Echoes of the Past. Luna and Ruby continued their journey, following the winding forest trails until they reached a mystical clearing filled with delicate flowers that shimmered in the sunlight. This was the Field of Compassion, where, according to legend, the Stone of Empathy lay hidden. The flowers here were known to reveal echoes of the past, memories tied to the spirits of the forest. "Look at all these beautiful flowers," Ruby chirped, hovering over a patch of blossoms that sparkled as if dusted with stardust. "They're amazing," Luna said, her eyes filled with wonder. "Do you think one of them could lead us to the Stone of Empathy?" As she spoke, the flowers seemed to respond, swaying gently even though there was no breeze. A soft, soothing hum began to fill the clearing, and Luna felt a strange but comforting presence wash over her. Suddenly, a faint image appeared above the flowers, a vision of a young unicorn from long ago, guiding a group of forest creatures through a dark and stormy night. The unicorn's eyes were filled with kindness and calm, and as the animals huddled close to her for protection, the unicorn's horn glowed, lighting their way. Luna watched the scene captivated. "Is that an ancestor? Another unicorn?" Ruby perched on her shoulder, watching intently. "She seems connected to the magic here, just like you, Luna." Luna took a step forward, feeling as though she was about to reach out to the vision, but then the image faded, and the flowers returned to their gentle glow. "What do you think it means?" Luna whispered. Before Ruby could respond, they heard a soft whimper nearby. They turned and saw a small fox pup, sitting alone at the edge of the clearing, looking lost and afraid. Luna's heart ached for the little fox. "Are you lost?" she asked gently, stepping toward the fox. The fox pup looked up at her with wide, tear-filled eyes and nodded. "I got separated from my family during a storm," he said softly. "I don't know how to find them." Luna lowered her head, speaking in a comforting voice. "Don't worry, we'll help you find them." As they set out to search, Luna felt an unusual pull toward the path ahead, as if the flowers themselves were guiding her. Following the feeling, she led the fox pup through winding trails and over small hills. Along the way, she shared stories with him, hoping to lift his spirits. However, as they neared a grove where Luna believed the pup's family might be, a thick fog began to roll in. The dense mist obscured their path, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. "What's happening?" Ruby asked, concern in her voice. "I thought we were close." Luna felt a shiver run down her spine. The fog felt unnatural, as if it were meant to keep them from reaching their goal. Suddenly, a soft, haunting voice echoed through the mist. "Empathy is more than kindness. It is understanding both joy and sorrow," the voice whispered. "Can you still care, even when the path grows uncertain?" Before Luna could respond, the fog swirled, creating illusions around them. Luna saw visions of the fox pup's fears, being lost in a storm, separated from his family, wandering alone in the dark forest. She could feel the pup's anxiety as if it were her own. The emotions were intense, overwhelming, and for a moment, Luna doubted whether she could handle them all. Her heart raced, and she felt herself pulled into the swirling fears and sadness surrounding the fox pup. "Luna, remember why we're here," Ruby chirped, trying to bring her back to focus. Luna took a steadying breath, gathering her courage. She reminded herself that empathy was about connection, not absorbing all of someone else's pain. Slowly, she focused on her own strength, grounding herself as she reached out to comfort the fox pup. With her newfound clarity, Luna said, "It's okay. You're not alone. We'll find your family, I promise." As she spoke those words, the fog began to lift, and the visions faded. The path cleared, and there, just beyond a grove, was the fox pup's family, anxiously waiting. Upon seeing him, they rushed to embrace him, nuzzling him lovingly. The fox pup looked back at Luna, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you so much," he whispered. Luna smiled, feeling warmth spread through her heart. "I'm glad we could help." Just as they were about to leave, a strange, shimmering light appeared among the flowers nearby. Luna felt a tug at her heart, drawing her toward it. As she approached, she saw a small, glowing stone nestled between the petals, the Stone of Empathy. Luna reached out to touch the stone, and as she did, a gentle glow enveloped her. Suddenly, she felt a flood of emotions. not just her own, but the feelings of all the creatures around her. She could sense their joy, their fear, and their gratitude, as if their hearts had become one with hers. Overwhelmed by the intensity, Luna stepped back, her breath catching. I, I can feel everything, she whispered to Ruby. It's like I can sense everyone's feelings, their hopes and fears. Ruby looked at her with wide eyes. That's incredible, Luna. The stone of empathy has given you the power to truly connect with others. But as Luna absorbed this new ability, a shadow crossed her heart. She remembered the vision of the young unicorn guiding the animals and wondered if she was capable of carrying such a responsibility. The emotions she felt were beautiful but overwhelming, and a flicker of doubt crept into her mind. What if I'm not strong enough to bear the feelings of others? Luna said quietly. Ruby nuzzled her gently. You've already shown so much kindness and courage, Luna. Remember, empathy is about connection, not perfection. You don't have to carry everything alone. Luna took a steadying breath, feeling the warmth of Ruby's reassurance. The stone of empathy had not only given her a new ability, but also reminded her of the importance of sharing burdens and understanding others deeply. With the stone of empathy glowing softly beside her, Luna and Ruby continued on their journey. Luna's heart now open to the emotions of the world around her. She knew that this new gift would be essential in the trials ahead, bringing her closer to understanding not only others, but also her own place in the magical world. Episode 6, The Stone of Resilience and the Trial of Shadows. Luna and Ruby journeyed further, leaving the gentle field of flowers behind as they entered the harsh, unforgiving terrain of the Desert of Endurance. The sand stretched endlessly under the blazing sun, and every step Luna took felt heavier than the last. According to legend, the Stone of Resilience was hidden somewhere within this desolate place, waiting to test the endurance of those who sought it. The heat beat down mercilessly, drying Luna's throat and making her legs feel weak. Ruby perched on her back, fluffing up her feathers in an attempt to stay cool. Are you sure this is the right place, Luna? Ruby asked, her voice filled with concern. It's so empty and harsh. Luna nodded, determination flickering in her eyes despite the exhaustion. This is where we need to be. If we can find the Stone of Resilience, it'll help us face any challenge. As they pressed on, the temperature rose and Luna's energy began to wane. Just as she was about to stop and rest, she noticed a strange dark shape moving beneath the sand. The sand around her began to shift, almost like a living thing. Before Luna could react, the sand rose, forming the shape of a massive shadowy creature. The Shadow Beast, a guardian of the desert. The Shadow Beast loomed over them, its eyes glowing with a sinister light as it snarled, "You have entered the Desert of Endurance, where only the strongest survive. If you seek the Stone of Resilience, you must prove yourself worthy by facing me." Luna took a step back, her heart pounding with fear, but Ruby flapped beside her, looking brave despite her small size. "Luna, don't let it scare you. We've come this far." The Shadow Beast lunged toward them, forcing Luna to dodge quickly. She barely avoided its sharp claws, her hooves stumbling in the sand. The creature's powerful attacks and swift movements tested every ounce of her strength and agility. Luna felt her legs growing weaker and her breaths shorter, but she knew she couldn't give up. As the battle continued, the sand suddenly shifted beneath her hooves, and Luna found herself falling into a hidden pit beneath the desert floor. She landed in a cool, dark underground chamber, where she found herself alone. Ruby was still above, separated from her by the pit's walls. "Luna!" Ruby called from above, her voice echoing down. "Are you okay?" "I'm all right," Luna called back, though her voice wavered with fear. The chamber was silent, with dimly glowing stones embedded in the walls casting faint light. As Luna tried to calm herself, the Shadow Beast reappeared, but this time it took on a new form, a dark, shadowy version of herself, mirroring her every move. The Shadow Luna looked at her with piercing eyes, speaking in a haunting voice. "You think you're strong, but what will you do when everything feels hopeless? Do you have the resilience to keep going?" Luna felt a surge of doubt, and the Shadow Beast's words echoed through her mind. She wondered if she truly had the strength to endure everything that lay ahead. Ruby's voice drifted down, encouraging her from above. "Luna, Don't let it win. Remember, you've already come so far. Taking a deep breath, Luna steadied herself. She realized that resilience wasn't about feeling strong all the time. It was about facing fears and doubts and moving forward anyway. I might feel weak at times, Luna said to her shadow self, but I won't give up. Even if things get hard, I'll find a way to keep going. That's what true resilience is. The shadow Luna regarded her in silence, then gave a small nod before fading into the darkness. As the shadow disappeared, Luna noticed that part of the chamber wall had shifted, revealing a hidden exit. Following the path, Luna emerged into the sunlight once more, only to find the shadow beast waiting for her. But this time, something had changed. The beast no longer looked menacing. Instead, it nodded slowly, as if acknowledging her strength. You have proven yourself, the shadow beast rumbled. The stone of resilience is yours to claim. The beast then sank back into the sand, revealing a path that led to a hidden oasis. In the center of the oasis lay a small glowing stone, the stone of resilience. Luna approached it, her heart pounding with anticipation. She reached out to touch the stone, and a wave of energy pulsed through her, filling her with a powerful sense of determination. She understood now that true resilience wasn't about never feeling doubt or fear. It was about choosing to keep going in spite of them. With the stone of resilience now in her care and Ruby by her side, Luna left the oasis, feeling renewed and ready to face whatever trials lay ahead. She knew that, no matter how challenging the journey became, she had the strength to endure. Episode 7, The Stargate's Call and the Final Test. With 5 rainbow stones in her possession, courage, wisdom, kindness, empathy, and resilience, Luna felt an incredible sense of readiness and purpose. She and Ruby had faced many trials together, and each stone represented a lesson learned, a part of her journey that had made her stronger. As they moved through a misty forest, Luna felt something tugging at her heart, a quiet yet powerful pull urging her forward. Do you feel that, Ruby? She whispered, her voice filled with wonder. It's like something is guiding us. Ruby nodded, excitement in her eyes. It must be the Stargate. Just think, Luna. Now that you have these stones, you're stronger than ever. Imagine what you could do with their power. Luna smiled, but her gaze turned thoughtful. These stones do feel powerful, Ruby, but they're not just for me. Each one represents a virtue we've learned along the way. They're meant to help bring hope and protect others, not just give me strength. They continued onward, the magic growing stronger until they reached a clearing bathed in starlight. At the meadow's center stood the legendary Stargate, a majestic portal that shimmered with light, as if the stars themselves had woven it from their own radiance. As Luna and Ruby approached, the Stargate pulsed gently, and a voice echoed from within, warm and ancient. Luna, you have gathered the rainbow stones, each representing a virtue you have learned. To pass through the Stargate, you must now prove your understanding of these qualities: courage, wisdom, kindness, empathy, and resilience. Luna took a steadying breath, feeling ready to step forward. But just as she lifted her hoof, a chill swept through the meadow, and the light of the Stargate dimmed slightly. From the shadows, a dark figure emerged, a unicorn cloaked in swirling dark mist, its eyes glowing with a fierce, unnatural light. Luna froze as a shiver ran down her spine. Though she had never seen this creature before, a deep, instinctual feeling told her exactly who this was: the shadow unicorn. She had heard whispers along her journey, stories of a unicorn twisted by darkness, consumed by a relentless desire for power. And now, standing before her, was the very creature from those tales. The shadow unicorn sneered, stepping forward with a menacing grin. So you've gathered the stones, it hissed, its voice a low, dark whisper. You must feel it too, the power at your command. Think of what you could do with such strength. Why waste it on hope and protection? Ruby fluttered nervously beside Luna, her voice barely a whisper. Be careful, Luna. Luna met the shadow unicorn's gaze, her heart steady. These stones aren't about power. They represent the virtues we've learned, the qualities that can bring light to the world. The shadow unicorn laughed, the sound bitter and mocking. Light? Kindness. Those are the ideals of the weak. Real power is control, bending others to your will, ruling everything you see. Imagine what you could become if you embrace that instead of clinging to such foolish ideals. Luna shook her head, her voice unwavering. True strength doesn't come from forcing others to bend. It comes from helping and protecting others, lifting them up. These stones aren't for ruling. They're for bringing hope. The shadow unicorn's eyes narrowed, its expression shifting to one of frustration, mixed with a flicker of something else. You truly believe that, don't you? It studied her intensely, as though seeking to find cracks in her resolve. You think these stones make you a protector, not a ruler. But I'll show you that real power comes from domination, not compassion. With a fierce snarl, the shadow unicorn lunged at Luna, dark energy swirling around it as it tried to seize the stones for itself. Luna felt the power of each stone resonate within her, guiding her movements. First, courage surged through her, keeping her grounded and steady in the face of the shadow unicorn's intimidating presence. Next, wisdom sharpened her thoughts, allowing her to read the shadow unicorn's movements and anticipate its attacks. With kindness, she protected Ruby, ensuring her friend stayed safe as the battle raged on. Empathy opened her heart, allowing her to feel the shadow unicorn's pain, to sense that its darkness came from inner wounds. Finally, her resilience gave her the strength to withstand each fierce attack, her determination unwavering even as the fight grew intense. The shadow unicorn's frustration grew, its attacks becoming more desperate. "Why do you resist?" it growled, bitterness flashing in its eyes. "You could have power beyond your dreams. Why waste it on protecting others?" Luna took a steadying breath, feeling a surge of compassion. "Power isn't what I seek. I want to bring light to this world, not control it. There's a part of you that remembers the light too, a part that isn't ruled by darkness." The shadow unicorn's expression faltered, confusion flickering in its gaze. For a brief moment, it seemed torn, as if Luna's words had reached something buried deep within. But then, with a bitter laugh, it turned away, retreating into the shadows. As the shadow unicorn disappeared, the stargate glowed brighter, its light warm and welcoming. The gentle voice returned, filled with approval. "Luna, you have demonstrated the virtues within you. Step forward and let your journey continue." With Ruby by her side, Luna approached the stargate. As she passed through, a wave of warmth and peace surrounded her, filling her with a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. She knew this was only the beginning of a new chapter in her life, and she felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. Beyond the gate, Luna sensed a world brimming with magic, light, and endless possibilities. With hope in her heart, she stepped forward, ready to bring light, love, and courage wherever her journey would lead.